the 5 most effective moves for a physical altercation, aka a bare knuckle brawl. Hello Earthlings, Ultraviolet Ronald from the Bronx here, and today we're gonna get into the 5 most effective moves for a physical altercation, aka a bare knuckle brawl. First, we're gonna get into our fight ready stance before we get into number 1. So if you're a southpaw, it's gonna be left foot right outside that right foot. If you're conventional like me and most other people, it's gonna be right foot right outside that left. Front foot is gonna be in about a 30 to 35 degree angle. Your feet are gonna be about shoulder width. Your back foot is gonna be facing in the complete other direction. You're gonna have your heel in alignment with your toe. You're gonna be nice and light on your toes. Slightly bend your knees, make your torso a small target. Bring your elbows in, hands forward, tuck your chin, and get comfortable rocking back and forth. Now, as you're comfortable moving forward or moving back, making sure your feet don't cross, you're gonna get into the first move that's very effective for getting in, and if you can, run away. The finger jab. Now, there's 3 ways of throwing a finger jab. You can throw a knife hand, which is very effective, but you're more than likely to hurt your hand, but at the cost of your life, hey, that's great. So you have your guard hand up here in the back, pop, step back, okay? Pop, step back. So you always go in and go out of danger. So with that knife hand, you're poking it out as quickly as possible, making sure your arm is as loose as a noodle to maximize the power and the full body torque into the punch itself. You don't want to be too tense, but tense enough. Right back out. Now, when that knife hand makes contact with either eye, the person's gonna be all caught up in their eye, distracted, and you can get out of there. Now, the second one is more of a rake. So I'm here, okay, like I'm doing a bear crawl, or I'm doing a tiger scratch towards the face. So again, and I'm trying to grab at their eyes. Now, my nail, again, gets in there. It's gonna blur their vision. They're gonna get confused, disoriented in that moment. And you'll be able to get out. And then the last way is more of a flicker jab, but with your fingers right in the eye. So, elbow, end off, just like that. Elbow, end off. Now you wanna make sure your footwork is good. So getting into anything, you wanna practice the 4-corner movement. So pushing off that back foot to go forward, pushing off that back foot to go to the left, pushing off that front foot to go back, and front foot to go right. Now as you get comfortable here, and you start incorporating that finger jab, it's gonna be more effective when you need to get in and get out. Number 2, the double jab. You're gonna tense at the last moment right before your hand makes contact with that opponent's face. So when you're throwing that double jab, fully extend, or you can jab, bring it halfway back, and then jab again. Now, since it's bare knuckle, you don't have no gloves, no headgear on, it's going to be very effective. It's very easy to cut someone's face open with your bare knuckle. It's very easy to take that person's tooth out simply from a jab with bare knuckle. And it's very easy to knock your opponent out even with the jab bare knuckle. So by you throwing your whole body into that, pop, pop, and then stepping back, it's gonna be highly effective. Most people do not throw straight punches in a fight, so that's gonna completely throw them out of their game and off their guard. So practice the jab as often as you can. It'll probably be your most effective punch, and it's gonna catch your opponent off guard. Now, number 3, you can come in with your guard nice and tight. Have a high guard, because people on the street like to throw haymakers. Okay, they're very square with you, so it's not as hard to hit them, and they love to throw haymakers. Very wide punches with no thought, but just to try to hope and pray that that punch lands and gets you out of there. And then make fun of you, you be the laughing stock, or you may go up to the man above, and hopefully that don't happen. But to avoid that, we can keep a nice tight guard. All right, you're in high guard. Remember we talking about mid, now you get into high guard. Now as you're in that high guard, you're gonna come forward with your elbow, okay? Or you can go with both hands coming behind your head. And the reason being, because in a bare knuckle brawl, as opposed to the boxing ring, it's much easier to go in between the arms, because you don't have that cushion around your hand to just easily just put your hand up to block as so. Since it's bare knuckle, it's much easier to go through the cracks of your arms or in your guard. So when you're coming forward, you can come forward holding your head, make sure you're guarding the temple and everything on the side, And as you bring this elbow up, if this elbow makes contact, it's going to do a lot of damage. It may break the opponent's nose, dent their forehead in, take their teeth out, slash their face open, but it will do a lot of damage and it's completely gonna discourage, because a lot of people like to try to blitz in. Now you take that blitz in moment, especially if they say they're ready to do what they have to do, to take advantage of that person not knowing you're gonna throw a sneaky elbow coming into the inside by simply guarding. So just like that there, and right back. So you're throwing that elbow up, right back to guard, boom. And keeping everything tight. Because it doesn't take much in a bare knuckle brawl to take you out of there. All right, number 4, jab, cross. And it's gonna be in 2 different ways. All right, just simply throwing it as it is, pop, pop. And as you're throwing that jab again, you keep your arms loose, elbows in, rotating your hips to maximize the power. You're not leaning forward, keeping the balance right where it needs to be, and right back into that tight guard. You can throw it that way, or jab, cross back, or jab, cross, blitzing in, to make sure that one of those punches are gonna land and it's gonna take that opponent out of there. Remember, people do not throw straight punches most of the time in a fight. This is all they know. They just know either this or these crazy wide uppercuts that they're trying to land on you, like what Francis Ngannou did to Stipe Miocic, and obviously it almost like he snapped his neck when he got hit, or I think that was the other guy's name. I totally forget his name. But remember, when you are engaging and you sense the threat about to come forward towards you, close that distance, or you can keep your distance, but whatever is more effective in that moment based off what the situation calls for. So if you want to just come in with that jab cross, that's going to automatically do that, especially if you land with precision right on the chin. It's going to take them out of there. Or if you feel like they're rushing you, jab cross stepping back, that's going to catch them off guard. You're countering. Or jab cross you may miss coming forward, jab cross back, and you put yourself in a position to eventually hit, because they're gonna try to come forward or step back, whatever it is. So one of those punches are gonna hit, or you're like, I'm just gonna try to sacrifice everything. Whatever happens, happens. Jab cross, doing it twice, quick, and one of those punches are going to hit. Because a lot of people do not have the senses to bear in mind of everything that's coming their way from a person that has been training in boxing, even for 3 to 6 months, 4 to 6 days a week. Now, number 5, the left hook from the high guard. Remember, again, people throw haymakers like crazy. You never know if there's other people that are trying to swarm you and jump you. Okay, so you always want to keep your senses aware. You have your footwork down, you have your stance in. And when you're in that high guard, your peripherals are more likely to be blocked, so it's better to keep your hands open, but more like this. Don't keep it too close because it's going to block your peripheral. So keep it open, more outward. All right, because if you can parry, you can parry. You have to throw in straight shots, and when you're parrying, you're kind of tapping forward to take the steam off that punch. But when you're coming forward, right, and you see them about to throw or whatever, you can keep your high guard in, leap in with that left hook, going right back to high guard, or you can step back doing a check hook and going right back to high guard, because you always want to throw offense, defense, defense to offense. You always want to be ready to slip, bob, weave, or get out of the way. You never want to be there for your opponent to hit you. So starting off, you want to try to de-escalate the situation with number 1. De-escalating meaning blind them temporarily. This is your human pepper spray, which is your hand for the finger jab. So again, pop knife hand, flicker, tiger claw. Either one of those is going to be very effective if they do not see it coming. But try to come in through feints to throw them off, get their guard going whatever you want them to, and then when they least expect it, it's going to hit and it's going to maximize the damage. Okay, now again, number 2, the double jab. Pop, pop. All right, keeping that arm loose. They don't really see it coming at all, especially in a street fight. So that double jab is going to be very effective. Jab cross coming in, coming out, blitzing in, double jab cross, jab cross. Going to take them out of their game. Straight punches are the quickest way to the target. They're throwing haymakers, So they're gonna be blinded to the punches coming forward. Again, because it's quicker. And it does a lot of damage. And then getting into number 3 or 4, going into the guard, okay, with the elbow coming in, right when you see them about to pounce in, you're gonna intercept their movement by throwing your hands up. That elbow is gonna do a lot of damage. And then lastly, again, reiterating everything, is staying in that high guard, just being ready for whatever they may throw your way. And once you see they're about to leap in, you can check hook going back, or bam, you can pounce going forward, making sure that elbow is in and off in a 90-degree angle. With these combinations, practice, practice, practice as much as you can. Look at yourself in the mirror, record yourself, watch boxing videos, be a student of the game. That's how you get better. And understand that certain tactics translate over into street, but not all tactics from the street translate over into boxing if you're doing dirty boxing. Have fun in the process. It makes it a lot easier to learn. And thank you for joining me on this journey to the ultraviolet. And if you liked the video, please comment and subscribe, and always work towards becoming your greatest version.